thanked Hashem for the man of truth, with whom she will build a nation. But when
Shabbos. This week's Parashah is Parashas Vayechi. In this Parashah, we learned that a few people died, including how Torah we find that David dies. In this Parashah, we find that Yaakov Avinu passes, is nifter. We find that Yosef passes away. And we find out that Yaakov buried Rachel, along the road. He didn't bury her in Machpelah, where the forefathers and their wives were buried. He buried her along the road so that she can weep and cry out for the children of Israel as they go along the road through exile and back. She can call out for them in hope to bring them back to safety. The time approached for Israel to die, so he called for his son Yosef and said to him, "Please, if I have found favor in your eyes, please place your hand under my thigh and do kindness and truth with me. Please do not bury me in Egypt." Parashas 47:29. Now I want to share a story to you that the author of this book, Rabbi Yisrael Pesach Feinhendler, had heard. He says he witnessed a following incident with one of the great Torah scholars of Yerushalayim, Rabbi Chaim Todros Hirschler, said so. On his way home, Rabbi Chaim Todros noticed his wife standing and drawing water from the well outside her house. She was puffing and panting with the exertion of having to carry the heavy bucket of water. As he hurried to help her, I heard Rabbi Hirschler saying to himself, "Behold, I am prepared to perform a mitzvah of chesed." He too knew the secret of how to elevate the mundane act of helping one's family and turn it into a great mitzvah. I later heard that also, when he would give food to small children, he would say, "Behold, I am performing the mitzvah of Gemilas Hasadim." Small act of kindness goes a long way, but only if done with the right kavana, the right devotion, the right mindset. If you go in the wrong mindset, it counts, but you don't get the same reward that you would have gotten if you had the right mindset to it. The author goes on to say a story that happened to him. I was once visiting the mashgiach, Rabbi Leb Chasman, said so. He wasn't feeling so well. Rabbi Leb asked me to prepare him a cup of tea, and of course, I hurried to the kitchen to fulfill his request. When I brought the cup of tea to him, he asked me, "Why did you make me a cup of tea?" I looked back at him wordlessly, not knowing what to say. He repeated the question. So I answered, "Because I wanted to serve a Talmid Chacham, a great scholar." Rabbi Leb smiled and said, "I asked you this question because I anticipated this response. You prepared a cup of tea for me because you think of me as a Talmid Chacham. But why not think of a simpler fashion? Do the mitzvah the way it should be done. Am I not an old and weak man who doesn't feel well and needs a hot drink? If you have this in mind, you are truly doing a wonderful act of chesed." Just doing the mitzvah, doing kindness, an act of kindness for the right reasons, is because you're doing it for a simple reason of doing a mitzvah. That's it. You're not doing it to serve somebody else. You're doing it because you're doing a mitzvah. And you're doing it for that purpose of doing a mitzvah. Yaakov asks Yosef to do kindness and truth with him, to not bury him in the land of Egypt. Why did he ask him to do with truth, act of kindness with truth? The reason is because when someone does a deed, a act of chesed for someone who's still alive, they expect a reward coming from them, from that deed. When someone does a chesed, an act of kindness for somebody who is no longer alive, then that person is doing the chesed for the right reasons. He's doing it for the right reasons because he's doing it with no reward. There is no reward to come to the person because the person he's doing the chesed for is no longer alive. So our goal in our life is to try and do good deeds for a simple reason of doing a good deed. That's it. You're not serving anybody else by doing it. You're just doing it to serve, to do a good deed. That's it. You're just fulfilling a mitzvah. That's all that should be going through your heart and through your mind when you go do a mitzvah. You say, I'm doing this mitzvah for a purpose of doing the mitzvah. And that's it. Why did Yaakov ask Yosef to come instead of his older brothers, Reuven or Yehuda? Reuven was the firstborn. Yehuda was destined for kingdom. In this parsha, we find out that Yaakov blesses all his children, including making Manasseh and Ephraim and Manasseh, part of his kids. Ephraim and Manasseh are children of Yosef, who Yaakov takes on as part of his children to make them tribes. The double portion that's awarded to Yosef was given and split between Ephraim and Manasseh. Manasseh, being the older one, was blessed second behind Ephraim, because Ephraim was supposed to be the greater of the two brothers. So Yaakov blessed Ephraim first before blessing Manasseh. And in his blessings to the children, Yehuda was given the blessing for kingdom, for kingship. But why was Reuben and Yehuda, the older two, and the older and the kingdom, passed up for this deed, for this act of chesed by Yaakov? It says because Yaakov was giving out his last deeds, his last honors, and it was his last chance to arrange his burial in the land of Israel. Now, if he had given the tax to Reuven or to Yehuda, they might have succeeded. They might not have. Probably would not have succeeded. The reason why he gives this to Yosef is because Yosef is a royalty in Egypt and can make things happen. Yosef has the power to take his father and his brothers with him to bury his father in the land of Israel. No other brother could have done that. So we see when they go bury him that the brothers are attacked, and once they see that Yosef's crown is on top of Yaakov's tomb, the surrounding kingdoms put their crown on top of Yaakov's tomb in respect of them. When they leave Egypt to go bury him, we see that it's Yosef followed by the elders of Egypt, and followed by the brothers and their kids and the wives. When they enter back into Egypt again after the burial, we find that it's Yosef, the brothers, and then the Egyptians. The Egyptians saw the respect that was paid to Yosef and his brothers. And because of that respect that was given to them, Egyptians that the brothers and Yosef go first. This is the end of the book of Bereshit, and at the end of finishing a book, and on Shabbos, when we're done reading it, we all say for the Chasam, we say, Hazak, Hazak, V'nis Hazak. Be strong, and may we be strengthened. May we be strengthened. The children of Israel were strengthened in this parasha. They were given blessings by the father Yaakov about who they would be. They now had a destiny to know who they were going to be and was destined to come to them. They were stronger people because of this. We as Israelites, as children of Israel, we need to find who we are destined to be and grab hold of it. Yosef does it. The brothers will do it. It's our time now to do that. It's our time now to it's our time now to perform acts of Hesed properly. That's what we can do now to change our lives and to bring Mashiach. My blessing to all of you out there listening is that you have the merit of performing a mitzvah properly. That when you pass, a mitzvah, act of kindness will be paid to you for that simple reason of doing the act of kindness. My blessing is that you guys out there and ladies have an act of Hesed performed for you for a simple reason of doing it. Have a good Shabbos and good weekend, and I'll see you next week.
Not a shattered dreams. Take hold of the heart and your senses. Your mama